So when I found out that you wanted to be on the podcast, I'm going to be honest, my heart exploded into a million pieces. And I'm like, oh my God, somebody listens.
Aww.
Yeah. So it's really great having a young artist on here.
Yeah. I'm super excited to be here. It's super cool to collaborate with people who are up and coming in Miami. It's cool to see artists come together.
Hi, welcome back to the 10th ever episode of Young and Terrified. I am your humble host, Katy Someillan, and today my guest is Mimi Cicero, musical artist and up-and-coming Miami person. Hi.
Hi, I'm excited to be here.
How have your past 24 hours been?
My past 24 hours. So I went to actually my first salsa class with my friends because my mom was like, "Oh, you guys should learn salsa to dance at parties," and I like dancing, so I went with my friends. And afterwards, we went to the airport to pick up my brother, who just came back from Washington. He was on that close-up trip.
Oh,
that's
okay,
cool
yeah.
too. Yeah, and then this morning I just woke up and got dressed and came here.
Yeah. Salsa class.
Yeah.
First of all.
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay, I get we're in Miami and salsa classes everywhere, but where do you find a place to take I know they exist, but where?
It's right next to FIU. It's called Salsa Lovers, and then the first class is free. So me and my friends were like, "Oh, let's just go and take it." And we had a lot of fun. We learned the basic steps, and we'll probably go back.
Well, that sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, it was interesting.
It'd be even more fun than that. Right now at this moment, let's get on to the episode. I think that'll be pretty fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
So when I found out you were coming on, the first thought in my mind was, I need to ask her, how did she get into doing music? So within doing research on you, I came across your Spotify bio, and that was a story. That was a story on there. I want to know, how did that happen? Tell us.
So since I was little, I was always kind of obsessed with music, obsessed. And I was always singing. And then when I was, when I was 5, I begged my mom, please put me in singing lessons. I want to be a singer. I know that this is what I want to do. And so she put me in them. I was 5 and I started performing at recitals and stuff. And I loved it. And so by the time I was 13, all I wanted for Christmas was I want to go to a recording studio and I want to record a CD. And so I got that for Christmas, and my parents took me. And then after the recording, I just remember I sat back and I thought, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do forever. And later I got into it obviously more seriously, and I started writing songs and all that stuff. So
okay. And on your bio, you said that you had some sort of illness that stopped you from it. How did that play out?
Yeah, so when I was about 13 or 14, 13, I was diagnosed with LPR, which is laryngeal reflux, and some other gastro stuff. And so I was going to all these different doctors, taking every type of medication I could, and nothing was working. And it was really, really hard for me because it was burning my throat, literally stomach acid. So I wasn't able to sing. And obviously having a passion and having that desire to do something and not being able to for 3 or 4 years is very, very frustrating. So I kind of fell into a really low point in my life because I knew what I wanted, but I couldn't get it, and it was out of my control. So yeah, no one really knew what was going on or how to fix it. So it was just frustrating. But eventually I found the right doctor, and she put me on the right treatment plan, and I'm super blessed that I was able to come out of that, So yeah.
Yeah. So at that age where you're kind of coming into your own and you're thinking, okay, what do I even want to do with my life? And just kind of have a roadblock like that stopping you from doing what you want to do, that must be absolutely awful.
Exactly.
And I also read that you got into instruments at that time. So what did you learn how to play in kind of instead of singing?
Right, yeah. So when I realized I like there was no way that I could sing and use my voice, I needed some type of, form to express myself. So I taught myself piano and guitar and just spent like hours on YouTube learning everything that I could, as much as I could, and just practicing a lot. And then, I had always, like, in the 5th grade, like, I wrote, like, a song. Like, that was, like, the beginning. But I wasn't seriously into it until I was about 14. So once I knew instruments, I got really deep into songwriting and just started writing like crazy and trying to get as great as I could so that if I could ever sing again, I'd be ready with my instruments.
And let me tell you, you were. So,
thank you.
So last week, or like a week or two ago, you released your first EP, Cloud 8.
Yeah.
How has that been? Like, how has that ride been since you've been able to get your voice back and be able to, like, perform in the same way you used to now with instruments?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I think you definitely appreciate things more, and you never take, anything for granted, especially your health, when you go through something like that. But this whole journey of, like, recording this album has been an awesome learning experience. Not only about myself and, like, music, but just, like, overall, like, I feel like I've grown as an artist, and I'm so happy and proud of it, and I hope, people love it, and it makes people happy.
So, Cloud 8, how would you describe it? Like, how would you describe your sound to people?
I would say it's pop with a lot of jazz influence, and then also a lot of, like, R&B in it. It's like a really good mix of all three.
Yeah, when I first listened to it, it almost sounded kind of like dream pop. So
yeah,
it was very playful, very fun. I got a lot of, like, it felt like the color pastel pink. Like, that's like the color I got. Like, because whenever I listen to music, I always either think of, like, a color palette or colors. Because,
me too. I do that too.
Yeah. So because I'm like that. And wow, other people are like that too. Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought about pastel colors, and it was nice. It was fun for a change where music is, like, fun again to listen to.
For sure.
Because I feel like we're in a time where music is very dreary, very, like, bass heavy, and I liked the sounds I heard from your EP.
Thank you.
Well, congrats on that.
Thanks. Yeah, I think it's important to, like, bring in positive music. That's why I love, like, for example, like, Bruno Mars, what he's doing is, like, he's connecting people through joy and, like, positivity, and I love that. So I kind of wanted to emulate that.
Well, that's great to hear about your EP, and I'm very glad you put it out and you got yourself down and, like, okay, I'm going to make a thing.
Yeah.
Like, how does it feel from, like, start to end of the creative process, making the thing and following through?
It feels great. I've learned a lot, and it's great to have finally, like, a product out there that I can say, like, this is who I am. This is only the beginning, but here I am. So it's cool.
Well, on top of you making your thing, do you have any influences as far as music? Like, what do you listen to get into, like, the mode of, like, I want to make this thing, and I'm pulling influence from this?
Yeah, I listen to so many, like, different, I don't think there's a genre that I don't listen to. Jazz has influenced me a lot. So, like, John Coltrane, Ella Fitzgerald, just, like, pretty much, like, every, like, jazz pianist and, like, all that, type of music. I also listen to a lot of Imogen Heap, who does some really interesting stuff that, like, inspires me like crazy. And India Arie, she has, like, a very, like, peaceful aura to her, and I love that about her, and her music is the same exact thing. It's a reflection of who she is, and I think that's really cool. Bruno Mars has influenced me a lot too. Yeah, I would say those are my top influences. Whitney Houston as well. Yeah, adore her.
That sounds like a really diverse group of influences. And are these, like, vibes that you want to, like, from that music, do you want to, like, get those vibes in your music, and, like, is that something you want people to feel, kind of like what you feel when you listen to them?
Yeah, for sure. definitely. That's definitely something that I want to do.
And now, pulling back from music and kind of like holistically, who are your influences for life? Like just life in general, like I want to do that thing or I want to be like that.
I would say my mom, I think, and both my grandmas. My mom is just like someone who is like bubbly and she's so communicative and she's so loving that, like I hope that one day I can be, like half the woman she is. And then both my grandmas are just like so loving and like so beautiful and so powerful. And also my dad, he's super hardworking and I think a lot of like my inspiration comes from like my family, and who they are and who like how they've developed themselves as people is really inspiring to me.
Also, like as we live in Miami and very much family values are a huge part of being in Miami and Latin culture in Miami.
Yeah.
Do you think Miami culture has affected your work?
Definitely, yeah. Like I said, I took salsa classes last night, so I do listen to a lot of like Spanish music, and I think Miami's kind of like, obviously there's different types of people. It's a melting pot of like different cultures, but I like the happiness. I mean, the bright weather helps with that, but I love the energy that the city has. So that definitely inspired, the positivity in my music for sure.
So you're 18 and I'm in my last year and a half of high school, which is freaking me out. But besides that, I want to ask you about high school. How did you experience it?
Cool. High school, I was like a nerd. I was always studying and like doing homework, and I was always stressed because I just wanted to get really good grades. But I had a lot of fun too. I was in choir and in theater, so that kept me busy. And like, I think I was in like every club in high school, so I was really busy all the time. But it was a lot of fun, and yeah, I had a great time in high school. There was, with like my health and everything, a lot of that like got in the way, but it was a good experience.
Yeah, and you said you're in a lot of clubs. Elaborate on that.
Yeah.
Because I can relate very much.
Yeah.
Because it's like a club impulse. I'm like, I have to join everything.
Yeah. That was me. I was like, I need stuff for my resume. And not my resume, my college, whatever, that thing. I forgot what it was called. College applications. But yeah, I was in second period in my high school, which was like choir, like the most advanced choir. So it was like performances like literally every day, especially around Christmas time. I was in that. I was in advanced drama, which was a lot. And then I was in thespians. And then
you were in thespians?
Yeah, I did a lot of thespians. I was in that since middle school. I was there for a long time.
Oh my God. Okay, because I did thespians this last year, and it was so stressful.
Yeah.
How did you cope?
It was so fun. Like, it was stressful, but I never, like, I don't think I ever got a superior, but I just did it because it was so much fun, and, like, all my friends were involved, so I guess I coped with it through, like, my friends, you know, because we would all relate.
Thespians, for the uninformed, is a competition of drama that will push you to tears sometimes.
Yeah.
It is so difficult, but it is so fun. And if you're in theater, or even if you're not in theater, go for it. Like, I did publicity direction. Let me tell you.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, like, you stand up there, and, like, the judges just roast you, and they just go at you, and you're like, okay, just rip me to shreds right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did screenwriting. Scene writing, whatever, with one of my friends. And the judges ripped us, like, right to our face. I was like, oh, my goodness, this is tough. But, yeah, it was fun. I miss it.
Like, what else about your high school time, like, do you remember? Like, what did you listen to? Like, you said you were, like, kind of nerdy like that. Mm-hmm. Like, describe yourself as a person then, I guess.
I was very quiet. I was very, very quiet and, like, shy. But I had a good group of friends, and then I would, like, come out of my shell when I was with them. But, yeah, I guess I wish I wouldn't have, like, studied so much, and I would have had more fun, because most of what I remember is me, like, you know, always pushing myself and, like, taking the hardest classes and like studying a lot, but it was fun.
I think that's like the thing with at least the American education system. It incentivizes just taking yourself to your breaking point.
Yeah.
And just like, this is the edge. I'm about to teeter off the edge. I feel kind of almost inhibits some people from going after their passions. So like, I know a lot of people who want to do things, but it's like, oh, but school, or like, I want to do this film project, but school's difficult, or I want to do art, or I want to do whatever endeavor. How do you feel about being an artist and being able to do that thing while doing school?
It's definitely not easy. In high school, I definitely wasn't as focused on music as I am now. Like, I knew that I wanted to do it, but I literally didn't have the time. And like, at some points, I was like, oh, maybe I should like get out of all these like, activities so I can have more time for music. But once you're in it, it's pretty hard to stop. So yeah, I mean, I think that maybe like less homework would be good, like across the board. Just teaching more in class and giving less homework would help people learn more, and less busy work too.
So now that you're out of high school and it's been about a year, how do you feel now that you're out of it?
I love this lifestyle so much more, like the college lifestyle. It gives you a lot more freedom and a lot more time to do the things that you want to do, and you're kind of like on your own schedule. You definitely have to be more disciplined, because if you don't do things, like no one's going to push you to do it. You have to do it yourself. But I like that. I like having that, schedule. It works for me personally, so I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's really great that you show that you're all about like the hustle. Like, you have to hustle to make it and to do your art, to make your music, or at least in my case, to make this thing. You gotta hustle. And working at it every day, that's discipline. That's discipline if I haven't seen any.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of talented people out there, so you have to show up.
Hey, what's up? It's Katy Someillan, your humble host, back at you with this week's housekeeping. Okay, so first, once again, like always, thank you for listening. It really means a lot because I make this thing and I hope people listen to it, and turns out they do. So yeah, thanks for liking and thanks for enjoying this thing. Now, if you really enjoy this thing and you're on YouTube, you can like it and you can subscribe to the podcast. If you're on iTunes, you can subscribe to the podcast, get notifications for when the podcast comes out, and if you really like it, you can rate the podcast, which helps me tremendously. As well as that, you can go on Twitter at young_terrified, where I tweet, I retweet relevant links, and if you have an idea for a hypothetical question, DM it to me, or send it to me, or tweet it to me. Come on, let's do this. Let's get this going. I'm not an infinite bank of hypothetical questions. Gotta help me out, guys. So, me personally, if you want to follow me, I'm on Snapchat at Katy SOME. That is Katy SOME on Snapchat. And thanks very much to our guest this week, Mimi Cicero. Mimi Cicero has amazing music on Spotify and on Apple Music and on any place where good music is heard. It's Cloud 8. It's a great EP. Gotta listen to it. You can find her on Facebook at Mimi Cicero Music, on Instagram with that same @ and Twitter at Mimi Cicero, and her website, Mimi Cicero Music. Great branding. And as always, thanks for listening, you guys. Thanks to the guests. Amazing, amazing guests. Great music. Great young artists. And we're gonna get right back to it right now. And we're back from housekeeping, thanks to me in the future who recorded that. But right now, Mimi, I'm going to ask you a hypothetical question. And that question is, for this week, if you could be anybody for a day, who would you be?
That's a tough question. I think I would want to be Celine Dion for a day, just so I could belt out all those high notes she does, and just can you imagine performing at Vegas at that stage, making people, feel so many emotions? Like, I would want to be her. And having those huge orchestras, and I don't know, I think it's really cool, her life. So yeah, I would want to be her for a day.
I mean, what would be bad would be like you're Celine Dion, but on an off day. So,
oh yeah,
that would be. But yeah,
yeah.
Would you spend like your day like actually just like belting like Celine Dion level like vocals?
I'd say that I'm doing like a surprise free concert, and then just have like everyone come and we just sing her whole entire repertoire. That's what I do.
Celine Dion comes back to her body, and she's like, "Wait, what? What did I do?
What happened? What happened?" Everyone's like, "Great show last night." She's like, "What?"
What? Okay.
All right.
Thanks. Yeah. So Celine Dion for a day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mimi, it's been amazing having you on.
Thank you. I loved being here.
It was great. Everyone listen to Cloud 8. It's on, help me out here, Apple Music, Spotify, and
iTunes.
Yeah, anywhere where good music can be played and is sold. And follow her on our social media, and everything else is down in the description. But right now, to talk us out, where do you see yourself in 10, 20 years?
10 to 20 years. Definitely still making music. Hopefully writing for other artists. Hopefully that comes sooner than 10 to 20 years. Definitely like with, like a family, and hopefully still making music and like doing shows and writing songs, and healthy and happy, and yeah, just living my best life.
So music is a thing that's very important to you, and as well as like family values, like how do you feel like those are going to be able to like intertwine, because obviously music industry is cutthroat.
Mm-hmm.
Like how do you feel like you're going to navigate that?
I think that, when something is as strong as of a bond as family, that you can like push through. And I think getting your family involved in your career is something that's fun too. Like having everyone, be a part of it in one way or another is cool.
So what else do you see like 10 to 20 years? Like, is there anything else music related or not music related?
I'd definitely still like to be vocal coaching and like teaching voice lessons. I do that now, and I have a few students, and I love it. And I've always loved teaching. So, if I'm, depending on like how my schedule is and everything, I'd love to get deeper into that, and maybe open up like a music school or something like that. I think that would be a lot of fun, and it's something that I've kind of, always had in the back of my mind and that I want to do. So, yeah, maybe that'll happen.
So fostering young art like that, like you kind of like...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would love to do that.
And I feel like even like now more than ever, like artists are getting younger and younger. And I don't know if it's because I'm getting older and artists are my age now, or it's just the internet. But how do you feel like in the future, like fostering young art, how important do you think that is?
It's super important. I think sometimes like a person can have a lot of drive and a lot of want to do something, but they just need a little bit of guidance. And I was lucky enough to have my producer to do that for me. So like to do that for other people who are passionate about what they want to do, but they just need, help. I would love to do that and be kind of like a guide for them. I think that'd be something really special and rewarding.
Well, Mimi, thanks for being an amazing guest this
Thank you.
time around. Cloud 8 is out. It's everywhere. Go listen to it. Like, it's really great. I love it so much.
Aw, thanks.
And from the bottom of my humble heart, and as your humble host, Katy Someillan, I say goodbye and have a nice day.